Feeling lost, empty, stuck, like you're just going through the motions. Wake up, go to work, go to the bar, go home, scroll, watch TV, scroll while watching TV, sleep, repeat. Ask yourself one honest question. Does your life feel right? If the answer is not really, I want to talk to you about what might be causing it and about something you can actually do about it. This autopilot life has a name. Psychologists call it languishing. It's not depression exactly. It's the absence of well-being. You're not in crisis, but you're not thriving either. You feel flat, a little aimless, foggy. You can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely. A lot of the time, that flatness is pointing at one missing thing: a sense of purpose. People with a clear sense of purpose tend to feel more energized, more fulfilled, and happier more often. They're also more resilient when life gets hard. Purpose doesn't make the hard stuff disappear, but it gives you something to carry you through it. There's a line from Nietzsche that the psychiatrist Viktor Frankl made famous. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. Frankl survived 4 Nazi concentration camps, and he noticed something about who endured. The prisoners most likely to survive weren't the strongest or the healthiest. They were the ones who had a task still waiting for them, a book to finish, a person to find, something unfinished that demanded they stay alive. A why makes the how bearable. Here's the part most people get wrong. We talk about purpose like it's a set of lost keys, something fixed and out there that we just have to find. So we wait. We wait to feel inspired, wait for the lightning bolt, wait to find ourselves. It rarely works that way. Purpose is built, not found. It's cultivated through reflection, and more importantly, through action. So the rest of this video isn't about discovering some hidden truth. It's about giving you a few angles to look from and a way to start moving. Frankl said meaning comes from 3 places. If you don't know where to start looking for purpose, start here. The first doorway is creating or doing something. Your work, a project, a craft, building something that wasn't there before, providing value to the world around you. The second doorway is connection and experience. Loving someone, being deeply present with another person, encountering beauty, having an experience that moves you. The third doorway is the attitude you take towards unavoidable suffering. This is the hardest and the most powerful one. When you can't change a situation, you can still choose who you are going to be inside of it. Most people find purpose through some mix of all 3. Keep these doorways in mind as you sit with the questions coming up. I'm going to give you a few questions. Don't try to answer them right now on the spot. I'll put a reflection guide in the description so you can sit with them when you have quiet, peaceful time to think. Question 1. What effect would you like to have on the people around you? This is a hard question, so here's a couple of ways to think about it. The first, what did you need as a child that you didn't get? We often find deep fulfillment in giving others what we needed and never received. There's a good chance you can find purpose inside your own suffering. The second, think of a person who helped you enormously or an experience that changed your life. How could you bring that kind of help or that kind of experience to someone else? And remember, what you give doesn't have to come from your job. It can come through a hobby, a side project, a passion. that has nothing to do with how you pay rent. Question 2. If you could change one thing about yourself, your habits, or your life, what would it be? Don't filter it, just name the thing. This is similar to the first question in Jordan Peterson's future authoring program, which I'll link below. It's a great resource for finding purpose and direction in life. Helped me tremendously. Question 3. What could you do starting now that would benefit you and the people around you for the longest stretch of time? This one points you towards roots instead of quick fixes. Not what feels good tonight, but what compounds over years. One more angle, if you want it. Picture your 80th birthday. The people who matter most to you are in the room, and one of them stands up to say what your life meant to them. What do you want them to be able to say? Work backward from that. The Japanese have a word for this, Ikigai. Loosely, it means your reason for getting up in the morning. You may have seen the 4-circle diagram online. What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you actually can be paid for. Where they overlap is your Ikigai. It's worth noting that tidy diagram is a Western remix. The real concept is humbler and more generous. In Japan, Ikigai is often something small and daily. Tending a garden, your morning coffee, a person you care for. It doesn't have to be grand or pay you anything. It just has to make the day worth showing up for. Sometimes, purpose isn't one giant mission. Sometimes it's a handful of small reasons stacked up. Once you have a sense of direction, here's the distinction that changes everything. Values are directions, goals are destinations. A value is like west. You can always travel west. You never finish going west. You never check it off. Being a present father, helping people heal, creating things that matter, those are directions you can move in for the rest of your life. A goal is a landmark you pass while traveling in that direction. Run the marathon, launch the channel, get the degree. You reach it, and then you keep going west. This matters because goals run out and values don't. If your whole identity rides on hitting one of those goals, you're empty the day after you hit it and crushed the day you miss it. But if your goals are just markers along a direction and you actually care about, you always have somewhere to walk. So once you know your purpose, find the direction underneath it. Then pick goals that point that way. So knowing your direction is the easy part. Keeping the momentum is where almost everyone falls off. There's a reason New Year's resolutions die by February. People focus on the outcome instead of the behavior. Here's the trap. Your brain motivates you towards things you're succeeding at. Say, you set the goal, I want to get fit. 3 months into hard workouts, you look in the mirror and your body looks basically the same. Your brain concludes, the gym isn't getting us anywhere, and you quit. You were probably making real progress. Your brain just couldn't see it. Here's the fix. Set process goals, not outcome goals. Instead of, I'm gonna get ripped, say, I'm gonna lift 3 times a week, then track it. I use Whoop for this. Every week, I see how close I got. When the app tells me I hit 86% of my goals, the number is a reward all by itself. My brain says, look at what you did. And that's the fuel for next week. Stack enough of those weeks, and a few years later, you look, feel amazing. The outcome shows up as a side effect of the behavior. This is the progress principle. Small, visible wins are the single most reliable driver of motivation over time. Make your wins countable and let them compound. 2 things to hold on to. We overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year. And you can become almost anything you want to be in about 5 years. You just have to figure out what that is, then focus relentlessly on the tiny behaviors that get you there. When I did this work years ago, I was unfulfilled and drifting. The Future Author Program, which I've linked in the description, walked me into 8 overarching life goals and a set of small weekly tasks. Since then, I earned a master's in mental health counseling, started a new career, got my mental health and my physical health to the best they've ever been, and built deeper connections with the people I love. None of it came from a big leap. It came from small steps repeated. So here's your homework. Sit with the questions in the description. Find real quiet. No phones, no noise. Ask yourself, then stop and listen. The answers may come, and they may not. If nothing comes, ask again tomorrow. If something does come, write it down. Start to shape an idea of what you want your purpose to be. Find the direction underneath it, then pick the smallest possible step you can take this week and take it. One honest note before you go. If you're not just languishing, but genuinely struggling, heavy, hopeless, can't get off the floor, purpose work is something to do alongside real support, not instead of it. Talk to someone. There's no shame in it. You don't have to figure this out on your own. But for most of us, most of the time, the way out of empty isn't a feeling. It's a direction and one small step.